knows what.
It's time to escape, but I don't know where the fuck I'm headed. Up or down, right and left, like what did I see myself in the midst of smoke. Just become any nigga that takes me for a joke.
Missouri. Nearby, police found the bodies of William and Flossie Brewer. Each had been shot in the head 3 times. The Brewer's stolen car was found this weekend outside Oklahoma City. And close by, another body, that of 37-year-old Roxy Runnels.
Hey, check these out. Incredible True Life Murderers, a set of 40 cards of the most infamous killers of our time. John Wayne Gacy was a chronic wife beater who hated women. Wifey number 2 left after she busted him with a bunch of pics of naked fellas. His wife described him as mysterious, cutting out late at night and cruising the local gay ghetto, Bughouse Square. He conned some young stud into his fag pad, where he'd show him his neat handcuff trick. His boy now bondaged, Gacy would treat him to a wild butt rape, ending with his rope trick, the victim spazzing out as Gacy got off stabbing the guy.
My name is Rick Gaius. I'm an artist, musician, and part-time enigma chaser from Hollywood, California. A few years ago, I saw a painting that was done by John Wayne Gacy, the notorious killer clown. Gacy was convicted in 1979 of the sex murders of 33 young men and boys, after 27 bodies were discovered in the crawl space of his home. I thought the paintings were amazing. I decided I needed one too. So I wrote Mr. Gacy a letter. To ensure the response, I enclosed a younger, clean-shaven, boyish picture of myself. It was very strange, and it's almost as if what he wanted me to be, you know, very light, very soft, delicate young boy. I think his flavor of victim. I would write him, and he'd write me back. And then I thought, like, well, you know, it's like, just keep writing him. It's funny, you know? And I thought, maybe I'll just get, you know, I'll get some more paintings, and I pretty much just did it to collect art at first, you know? And as I went by, I realized that this guy was being nice, you know? He was being very friendly, he wasn't being disrespectful, he wasn't being dishonest, and he liked the same fact that I was being honest to him. And so I think what was happening was I was kind of seeing this really nice guy. And at that point, it's like, it's real easy to be desensitized by what this man had done, you know? It's like I was just writing to a guy, and I guess our relationship started when we started writing. I was so bored with my life. I needed something interesting, you know? And you tend to want to do this. Yeah, I mean, it's like, if I had a chance to have lunch with Mother Teresa or Adolf Hitler, of course I'd have lunch with Adolf Hitler. He'd have more to say. I have faith in God, and that's what keeps me going. If you want to condemn me for my lifestyle or being open-minded or even bisexual, then fine. But it doesn't mean I killed anybody. You know, you can discuss any subject without offending me or being embarrassed. And at first, it's just kind of a joke. Me and my girlfriend would get the letters back, and we kind of like, you know, like snicker. Like, it's kind of funny, like how weird this is, and can you believe it? And then I started continue writing. We wrote for a few months, and my band was putting out a cassette tape, and I wanted artwork for it. I asked him to design a cover. And he, you know, he wrote me back with an idea about a clown holding up 4 children's blocks, and in the 4 children's blocks would be the name of the band. And so, you know, we went back and forth, and he wrote it, and it was just beautiful. I tried not to pass judgment, not to be callous over, you know, the death of these young men and boys. You know, I feel for their families and everything. At the same time, I don't know whether it's, I'm desensitized to all this. I mean, you know, it's like you see, you know, you see what goes on. It's like every day there's so much killing, there's so much murder that I don't think I even care anymore. I don't think it's, I view it as just one more TV show.
When I was younger, I was always fascinated by horror films, and I think that's where it all started from. When I was probably 7 or 8 years old, living in LA, I remember seeing stories about the Hillside Strangler on TV. And being really young, I didn't know much about it, except that it was real, compared to all I was watching on videotape. And it wasn't until much later that we had the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, who was killing people about 20 minutes away from my parents' house where I lived at the time, that I really started to get fascinated with the whole phenomena of serial killers. That's the fascinating thing to me, is it could be anybody. It could be the person next door to me, could be a serial killer, I don't know. And you never know until it's too late. When I first started writing to John Wayne Gacy, a lot of people told me I was sick. You know, people would come up to me, "You're sick, you're crazy, I can't believe you write to this guy." And then immediately they'd say, "What does he tell you? What does he say? What is he like?" You could tell him anything, he could tell you anything. And that's probably what scared me the most, is after reading the books and knowing what this man did, and knowing what he was in prison for, and realizing that he could still be, you know, like my uncle, almost, you know. He could be the friendliest, nicest person I've ever met. Meanwhile, he's got 33 boys buried underneath his house. He did a series of 4 Seven Dwarfs paintings. He's really fascinated by Disney. He loved Disney, which I'm sure would just freak Disney out if they knew he was doing paintings of their characters. But there was one controversial one, which I don't have, that had the 7 dwarfs digging in a mine, which a lot of people put together with him digging in his crawl space. Kind of a...
Where he had the bodies.
Right. You know, how does someone dress up as a clown to entertain children one day and then strangle, rape, and bury someone the next, you know? I don't know.
I guess sort of curiosity, I started writing to John Wayne Gacy. I sent him photographs from the store here and asked him to, you know, do particular types of paintings. What I wanted him to do is do one painting of Universal Monsters, but he sort of screwed this up because he put Freddy in there, which sort of got me a little upset because I didn't want him in there. He did Dracula, Wolfman, and Frankenstein. He also put, there's like Friday the 13th, Jason there, in which, you know, he did this all wrong because it's supposed to be all Universal Monsters. So, you know, I actually had a few more which I sold, and I'm sort of sorry I did sell them because, you know, he's dead now, and so there won't be any more paintings. But I'm keeping these 2 for my own, you know, personal collection.
But are they worth a lot of money now? Or?
I was told that, yeah, these probably could be worth anywhere from, I don't know, it's $500 to $1,000, I was told. And when I got them originally, I paid, I think it was like $75 to $100 each, something like that.
The creepiest part was after he did the artwork for my band's tape, is I got these phone calls at my home.
Red call from the North Correctional Center. Inmate
John Gacy.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether I should accept these calls or not, because at this point, now it's gotten too close. Mm-hmm. You know, now he actually can get a hold of me. You know, rather, you know, I'll just keep him at arm's length when I want to talk to him. So at that point, I figured, you know what? If I want to know what this guy's about, I think I better be completely honest and be completely open. So he would call, and I just accepted the call. And it was really strange, very strange listening to his voice, because he sounded a lot different than what I expected him to sound like. And he was just as normal and friendly as anybody I've ever met. And I think it humanized him.
3? What are you up to? Hey, John, how you doing? I'm doing good. What are you up to? Nothing much. Just gotten up. Just, John, I think I had the best sex I've ever had in my whole life last night. Uh-oh. And I'm just so ecstatic. No, I'm just getting...
and is subject to being monitored and recorded.
Well, I'm just getting up, actually.
Oh, okay. She's still there?
No, she just left.
Oh, she left. When did she leave?
About half hour ago or so. Oh. So, nailed her again in the morning, huh? Oh, yeah. Morning fuck's great. Yeah, I know that. Morning wood's awesome. Oh, man. How you doing? Good, good. I moved your painting out of here because I had to get all of the paintings out of here before the state confiscates them. Yours is already done and it's already marked, and I have my nephew holding it. Okay, great. Cool. So where did you meet this one? I also met her at the club I work at. Oh, yeah? Yeah, and she's pretty cool. She's a musician also. You little cocksucker, you. You're having a ball, and I'm sitting here. I mean to rub it in. But yeah, it was really cool. It was really great. Best sex you ever had. Yeah, it was great. Best sex you ever had is when you never took it out of hand. Well, cool. I got news for you. No matter who it is or what it is, it's always better in your own hand. Oh, yeah. It's always good sex. Any sex is good sex. Tease and kid about it all you want, but it's the only way to go. Yeah.
You know, it's like my grand plan in the back of my head always was that, well, I'm going to become his friend. He's going to trust me. And you never know, when I visit him, maybe he'll say, Rick, I killed those guys. I killed every single one of them. And my heart pounded as I did it. And I loved every minute of it. And it was intense. And it was better than sex. And it was better than life. And it gave me a strength that I never felt before. And that's what I wanted him to tell me. Of course, you know. Who doesn't? You would love him to tell you that. Anybody, you know, it's like, and of course he never told anybody that. He was very, very complex man, very intelligent man. He gave you what he wanted you to know. I'm not going to compare it to the character in Silence of the Lambs, but he was somewhat like that. He gave you just enough to keep you interested, but not enough to incriminate him or to maybe make you think he was a monster.
Is that the one with Garth Brooks? Yeah.
I guess either you're part of the solution or you're part of the problem. Maybe I'm part of the problem. But, I mean, in a completely selfish way, I had a correspondence, and got to meet somebody very few people will have ever met.
Okay, great.
Cool. The funniest part of the whole trip was meeting just American people. And we just we were just going to bars every night. We were drinking all night, driving all day, you know. So it was a great week, you know.
There was this Kentucky kid, he was getting ready to get married, and his dad come along and, you know, he says, Dad, man, I don't know what to do. He says, well, son, he says, you take her up in the hills, you just fuck the hell out of her. Can I use that language? Mm-hmm. Okay. And he says, well, I can do that. So he takes her up, they get married, they go up in the hills. Next morning, Dad comes out, and he's moping around in the yard, and it's like, what's wrong, son? Where's your wife? He says, well, Dad, he says, I had to shoot her. He says, you had to shoot her? He says, why? He says, well, Dad, she was a virgin. He says, well, son, I guess you're right. If she ain't good enough for her own family, she ain't good enough for ours.
Ouch.
I saw him 6 days before his execution. I was his last non-blood visitor. It's weird when you go to a prison, and it's very... The guards see no humor in that you want to go visit Gacy. And especially worse that you're going as friends.
When you lose a child, it's like taking a little piece of your heart out. He has not shown 1 ounce of remorse for killing these 33 boys.
He has affected more lives than probably anybody else in American history. Not just the kids that he killed, but all of these people that have been left behind.
Go ahead and kill me, but vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, because you will have executed somebody that didn't commit the crime.
What is strange is between you and the guards are 2 gates. You know, so you're sat there and you're sitting for about 10 minutes, and it's really quiet. And at this point,